Hello, this is the Captain Paxo, welcoming you back to the weekly hunt, week 8 now, event edition, or something along those lines, because what's it called, the Spring Blossom Festival, that's it. The Spring Blossom Festival event is live, and I've been having so much fun with it. It's been incredible. I have to admit, Monster Hunter was getting a little bit stale. It was getting a little bit tedious farming so many of the same monsters in the same sort of scenarios over and over again, but the Spring Blossom event has kind of kicked new life into this game and kind of made me remember why I love this game so much, and it's just made me want to play it even more. Oh my god, just being able to do all of the previous events and then some has been really nice, especially with the, what would you call them, the Gold Crown events, where you fight like all of the monsters in a given area and they have a really good chance of giving you a Gold Crown for said monster. It's nice to see that they've returned. I haven't really done too many of them, but that's definitely something I'm going to need to do, since I'm one gold giant crown away from getting the 10 gold crown giant crown trophy. Words. How do they work? Because the thing is like with the giant crowns, you can get the trophy for getting your first giant crown for just getting a silver giant crown. However, you can't get the 10 or the rest of trophies with just silver crowns. I know because I have about 20 silver giant crowns and 9 gold giant crowns, and I still don't have the trophy, so it's definitely gold crowns. Either that or the trophy's glitched, which I don't think it is, but it could be. Who knows? I did not realize just how much Wrath farming I did. There was a lot of Rathian and Rathalos farming this week. I'll watch this, by the way. Abserops is a little bit angry at me, so he whacks me out of my sharpen, so I give him a bit of distance, try and sharpen it, and he whacks me again. Alright, I gave you a chance, now you die. Now I can sharpen. Oh my god, the small monsters in this game. They're just... Why are they so aggressive towards the player? There's like this big, super angry, super scary dragon just flying about, and they're all like, "Oh, it's a human! Oh, get rid of it! Oh!" Even though the dragon is like killing them or whatever, it completely baffles me, and it does get a bit frustrating at times, but it's, you know, it's part of the game. Just gotta deal with it. Just like I've got to deal with my bad aim with flash pods. Like, good god, as I get sent all the way down the ancient forest tree, the big old ancient tree. God damn it. Here's a little question for you. The Zora Magdaros set bonus is status crit. So when you deal critical hits, the amount of status damage you do is increased. The question I have is, how does negative affinity affect it? Like, does having negative affinity mean that whenever you deal a negative crit, in a sense, does that decrease the amount of status damage you do? Because if that's the case, then the build I'm currently using, or that you're watching, sucks ass, because I've got negative crit from the Zora Magdaros set. Or does it just, like, it doesn't care if it's a positive crit or a negative crit, it still increases your status damage? That would be rather interesting. The only other option, I think, is that the negative crit just doesn't do anything, which I somewhat doubt, as I whiff a massive Spirit Thrust. I'm very good at hitting the Spirit Thrust, but then missing the Helm Splitter. Oh boy. That's like the one thing that I've got to get better at with the longsword. I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm very comfortable with my ability to Foresight Slash, like I did just there. But being able to land those Spirit Thrusts is still something I'm really not too confident in. I'm getting better though, as I always do, as I always try. But yeah, wrath farming. I did a lot of wrath farming because I'm not too sure what I was farming at this specific instance, but to put it simply, I need some Rathalos stuff to build my, or to finish, rather, my Rathalos Lance, which I will then use to try and farm Volhazak, and I'm farming Volhazak because I want to finish off some of the charms that I have, because I think I have about 8 charms to get. In the last video I said like, oh, I only have about like 6 charms to get, but I think I also stated that like I'll probably end up getting more that I need to get, and I did, because I unlocked the ability to get the research commission tickets, which is like a super fancy commendation essentially that you get for some of the high-end optional quests. In fact, the end optional quests you get them for. They unlocked like another 4 or 5 charms that I need to get, which is good fun, you know? It's great, there's more things to get. But I'm focusing on Volhazak because there's a specific charm, I think it's like the Heat Guard charm. I don't need it or particularly want it, but the thing is that it requires a Teostra gem, and I have a Teostra gem, which is great, but I also really want to build Teostra equipment. So you might just think, we'll just build the Teostra equipment now, farm up that monster, get your equipment, and then go back to it later. But I kind of want to get the charm out of the way now, if that makes any sense, so I don't have to worry about it later on. You know? If I build it now, well, then I can just farm another gem and do that. Get my Teostra armor that way. You know? Which I'm starting to think I should probably do for the Million Zenny trophy. Because of course that is a trophy that I need, but because of the way that I'm farming, well, everything, well, let's just say I'm constantly broke. Oh, I should have laid on the ground right there. Oh, should have stayed on the ground as I get carted. Dagnabbed Volhazak. Not using a particularly optimal build versus Volhazak, but Fortify is always a nice skill. It's not like, it's not a necessity, it's not something that's incredibly overpowered or that you should run on every single build, because you're not always going to die, you know. And when I first saw the Fortify skill, I was like, I don't really like that, you know. It's generally not a good idea to build your strategy around dying or taking damage, you know. It's generally a good idea to build your build around not doing that and avoiding damage. But the thing is this is Monster Hunter, you can't really help it when you take damage. And well, I wanted to make a status crit build and kind of try out how it works with negative affinity, see if I notice any difference whatsoever. Haven't really gone too into detail or too in depth with the tests that I've done, so I can't say, hence why I'm asking you. Train of thought. Gone, just like that. I'm very good at that. Oh, this was fun. Watch this. Oh. It's a pair of just... He couldn't quite decide how he wanted to pathfind his way to me. So he just kept going back and forth like, oh, there's a shiny. Oh, for that. Oh, what's going on? What's it? Oh, Hunter. Fortify, that's what I was on about. Building your strategy around dying is generally not a particularly good idea, because, well, if you're dead, then you're not dealing any damage, are you? You're not doing any good. But it's not really like a strategy that you build around dying or around, like, taking damage to activate your power. It's more of like an added bonus for when you do die. It kind of makes it so, like, your next encounter is going to be a bit easier. by increasing your attack and defense. It just increases your survivability, makes it so you're less likely to die next time. That's all it is. Damn, Baroth faked me out with a bit of an exhaust pose there, so I went for the Wyvern snipe. Did not get it. This is Street Fighter music, right? I haven't played Street Fighter. But it's good music, I do like it. And I have to say, using the bowgun was fun, but fighting a Baroth the size of a goddamn, like, Anjanath? Yeah, I think that's apt. Fighting a Baroth the size of an Anjanath is not really all that much fun when you're about as slow as a mountain, like you are when you've got the heavy bowgun. If this heavy bowgun had a shield mod on it, I would have been perfectly fine. I would have been kind of happy, honestly. But because it didn't. It made it so much more awkward because you had to avoid these massive hits that, I mean, when Baroth is this big, it can be a bit awkward. I'm doing a pretty good job right now, just kind of kiting him and rolling it underneath him. That's kind of how you have to play it. But, yeah, I'm not a particularly big fan of arena fights, and I think I finally figured out what it is. It's like, I like the hunt. Like, I like tracking down a monster and traveling from area to area to find where it is, have a fight in an arena, use the environment to your advantage, and then after a little bout, you know, the monster goes away, you have a chance to, like, recuperate, craft some more ammo, sharpen your weapon, gather some materials, whatever, before you go to the next bout. With an arena, unless you use traps or a Farcaster, you don't really have that luxury, and even when you do use the traps, because I don't think every setup has, I don't think every loadout, as I faint right there, I don't think every loadout has Farcaster, which can be a bit of a pain, and rather unfortunate. You do get access to, well, there's all sorts of stuff that you get access to be able to put yourself in a safe position to resharpen and all of that sort of good stuff, but at the same time, they're items that you can use in a very offensive way, like I'm gonna do here with the trap, and just sort of wail at Baroth with some pierce ammo whilst I'm out of range, which doesn't do much damage, but I don't think pierce ammo does particularly great damage when you're in range, and just being able to hit multiple times, it makes the ones a little bit less painful to look at when you see like 5 different ones as opposed to just one, you know? There we go, get him in the shock trap, use the cluster bombs. Like I said, I enjoyed using the bowgun, and I want to use it a bit more, but I haven't actually crafted any that are good enough. All of the ones that I've got are like rarity 4 or 5. I haven't actually got any that are fully upgraded yet, which sucks, but it is what it is. Eventually I'll make them. I mean, eventually I'll get some good ones. Eventually I'll have everything in the game though as well, so you know. Maybe I'll try a week of the light bowgun or something next week. Just try and do something a bit different. Try and force myself to play a completely different strategy and learn a new weapon. I don't know. I'm still not decided, because the Spring Blossom event is still going to be going on, so I'm still going to be doing a lot of stuff with that, like trying to farm Tempered Deviljho, or maybe not really trying to farm Tempered Deviljho, but more or less trying to kill him, because he's, I mean, this was my first attempt since his return, and I had forgotten just how much he hurts. You know, I'd completely forgotten how crazy Deviljho's moves are, and especially how hard Tempered Joe hits. So that's the first cut. Boy, wonder how many more of those I'm gonna get. But that was just me not respecting Joe, you know. If you don't respect him, then he's going to kick your ass, regardless of how good your armor is. Which, my armor is not upgraded, you know, I don't have the money to upgrade my armor all that much, so I have to rely on pretty unupgraded. Why are you doing the Dragon Piercer? Why? So there's the second cart. Not going well, huh? Could be better. Could be better. But this is a sleep bombing set. I'm sure if you've been following my channel for a while now, you will recognize this sleep bombing set with the Gigacool's Uragan bow with the Sleep Plus coatings. That reminds me, I need to upgrade the Trank Charm, but I think I need like some Coma Sacs from Radoban, and I think I need a Volhazak gem or something. I need so many Volhazak gems. Why? Why? I don't even like Volhazak. He's got so many moves that I feel like just shouldn't hurt you. Like when he's walking forward doing his Effluvium beam, he can still knock you. It's the same thing with Xeno'jiiva. Monsters just should not have toenail damage. I don't care. It's very frustrating. Deviljho doesn't annoy me so much since like his safe spot is right underneath him. Watch this, by the way. So I put Deviljho to sleep with my sleep coatings. My Palico just tamed a lesser Jagras, and I think you know what's about to happen. This motherfucker. Why? Come on! Why do my sleep bombing sets never work? Why does this game hate me so? Oh my god. And of course I'd already fainted twice this quest, so to say I was a little disheartened is a bit of an understatement. Oh my god, I was not happy. So Deviljho buggers off, and oh, I think to myself, fuck this. Bugger this, I'm going home. And next time, I'm not bringing my Palico. Oh my god, look at me. I was not happy. It's just... Oh my god, dude. I hope they improve the AI for the Tail Raiders, because at the moment they are just fucking trash, dude. The Palicos are great. The Tail Raiders, not so much. But what can you do? So this is attempt number 2, which someone else joined. They got their Palico with them, which is, you know, fine as long as, you know, they don't bring a Jagras to the sleeping Deviljho. As I notify him that I'm about to put Deviljho to sleep, which I think is a generally good idea. Just like have a shout out that says sleeping in 3 different languages or something. Just to try and like let people know that you're putting a monster to sleep so they don't accidentally wake it up instantly. But this guy seemed pretty smart. He knew what was going on. So, you know. Right. Time to detonate those explodey things. Kablooey! Shame he didn't bring his own bombs, but he did bring the... well, he placed the... what are they called? The... Wyvern Blast? It would have been quite nice if he put them next to the bombs. Made like a much bigger explosion, but... beggars can't be choosers, you know. Oof. And I'm dead. Oh, here's... well. That sucks. That was 2 carts in, like, 2 seconds. 2 carts in as many seconds. Fuck. Not going well. Man. as much as this sleep bombing set is very effective at putting monsters to sleep and being able to do a lot of damage, it does rely on the skill of the user, and my skill is, well, not that good, evidently. I'm not that experienced with Devil Joe. Even just regular Devil Joe can kind of kick my ass, because I just haven't fought enough of him to be able to go, okay, I understand everything that he does. I can kind of predict his movements and all that sort of good stuff. Like, nah, Devil Joe is still kind of a mystery to me. So whenever I have to fight him, even the non-tempered version kind of scares me. Oh my god, dude. The knowledge of that, like, knowing that you can get one shot by any of those swipes is just terrifying. Or maybe not one shot, but put in a position where he could touch you, he could breathe on you, and you would be dead. Oh my god. It's like, it's pretty nerve-wracking, but at the same time it's all the more exciting. Holy shit. 420 friendly, just, that's not a lot of health right there. Have some life powder. Stay alive. Live! Survive! Oh, God. And the Superman. The Superman. Do it. That's my advice. If you're struggling to avoid a certain move that a monster has, try doing the Superman. It is very powerful. Oh, and Devil Joe's going to sleep again. I feel like Devil Joe is way more susceptible to sleep attacks than most monsters are. Like, I feel like it's easier to put Devil Joe to sleep than it is to put Kieran to sleep. Maybe there's like a correlation between like how much sleep damage they take and the size of a monster, kind of like there is with poison. Like, the bigger the monster, the more damage they take from poison. And I know the Dragon Piercer, I know if you fire that at a sleeping monster, it will hit the monster before the damage from the bombs detonate, meaning that, like, you don't do that much wake-up damage. But I kind of wanted to just do the Dragon Piercer to try and do a little bit of limb damage all the way down, and maybe be able to cut off his tail some point down the line. God, his chase down attacks are terrifying. And just, like, this monster is just insane. God. And dead. Well, tits. Quest failed. I'm not perfect. I can't win them all. In fact, I'm pretty inexperienced with most of the monsters in this game. Like, I'm not that experienced with any of the Elder Dragons. Nergigante terrifies me even when I use a lance, because, I don't know, I'm really unsure of what his moves are. Yeah, I just haven't fought him enough to be able to know what his moves are. Tailstrike I'm a little bit more comfortable with, but at the same time, it's still kind of... He still kind of scares me because I'm still not too sure of what his moves are. And I think, yeah, Kushala's the Elder Dragon that I'm most comfortable fighting. But even then, it's like, it can still be a little bit tricky, just trying to tell what she's doing and what she's about to do. Just learning the monster in general. I've got a long way to go when it comes to learning the ins and outs in each of every one of these monsters. Like, some of them, like Rathian and Rathalos, I'm very comfortable with just because of the sheer amount of times that I've fought them, or Zizi Yaku, or whatever, you know. But like I said, others I'm just not too comfortable with, and I think we're all like that a bit, you know. We've all got monsters that we're very comfortable with, and monsters that we're just very uncomfortable with, just because we haven't fought them enough. We don't know their patterns, we don't know their tells, we don't know their kinds of behaviors and all that sort of good stuff, you know. This is me fighting a bit of Anjanath because I think this is an optional quest. I don't think this is actually an investigation, because I wanted to complete all of the optional quests. I wanted to get access to Damn, as I pull a gem out of the tail, how often does that happen? Good God. But I wanted to complete all of the optional quests because it's another thing on the list of things to do, and it also gives me access to a quest that gives me the research commission tickets, which I need a lot of. I need like 10 for the armor set, and then however many more for all of the goddamn charms, because there's a lot of charms that need them. But like I said, I did manage to do all of them, and this is like my favorite part of the Gathering Hub right now with the Spring Blossom event, is there's actually people in it! Look how many people there are! There's so many people! Oh my god, dude. It is so good. And I love trying to get people to arm wrestle me. I love, like, I just love sitting by the barrel and just, like, trying to get people to arm wrestle me. Like, come on, fight me. Fight me! So this Apollo guy arm wrestled me a couple of times, and all of a sudden this Alonsky guy just comes out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, I want to fight. Yeah, let's go. And all of a sudden we've just got this, like, 4 people just gathering around this one barrel. None of us are in communication, well, apart from maybe Indico and Apollo. But none of us are in communication, but we're all like, yeah, let's do some arm wrestling. It's just like, more games need to have this. More games need to have just random crap like this in their gathering places, just for you to just mess around with random people. Like, it's completely pointless, but being able to do stuff like this, it just brings the world to life, you know? I absolutely love it. Alright. Let's go, Alonsky. Let's see who's going to win this one. I've kind of developed a pretty good technique for button mashing the circle button. You kind of hold the controller in the palm of your hand like you would hold like a phone or something, and then I curl my fingers up into a fist, tense my arm up, and then just mash the circle button as hard as I can. It's a pretty surefire way of being able to beat most people. But then, of course, there'll be someone else who just has an ungodly power to crack hands it and mash the button. But me and this guy managed to do this armor wrestling. Well, we did it a few times until eventually I mucked up the button mashing and I lost. I was like, oh no, I lost. My win streak is over. Ah, dear. But yeah, it's just like, this is the Gathering Hub. This is what the Gathering Hub is meant to be. I hope we see more of this, even when the Spring Blossom event ends. I doubt it, but one can only hope, right? But yeah, good old events. Lots of. This is the, what is it, Hunter's Dream for the workshop, the design weapon contest, the rocket-propelled hammer, which is just such a cool weapon. I've got all of the tickets I need. You only need like 5, and I think I got 2 or 3 per quest. I think it was 2. I only needed to do this quest like 4 times to get all of the tickets that I needed. Something like that. It really wasn't that much. And it's not that hard, you know, it's just a Paolumu and a Rathalos. You can separate them with the gate, you can flash bomb them with the flash pods that you get. They give you flash pods, actually. And of course, you know, if you're in higher rank, then you can just bully them because they're low rank monsters. Which I feel a little bit bad for, but what can I say? I want my rocket-propelled greatsword. I almost said hammer there. Rocket-propelled hammer. Yeah, it's meant to be like the best weapon in the game. I haven't fully upgraded it yet because, well, I'm missing a Wyvern gem. I'm always missing Wyvern gems. It's like it's like my current kryptonite. Well, actually, no. My kryptonite is arena quests. But it's the one thing that I just don't get a lot of is Wyvern gems, because I don't farm enough monsters that drop Wyvern gems. I'm farming a lot of Rathalos to get like 2 Rathalos rubies to fully upgrade my Rathalos Lance, and I'm also wanting to get another 2 so I can get the Azure Rathalos helmet and the Crimson Rathalos chest piece. I know the Crimson Rathalos chest piece requires a gem, or ruby, sorry, and I think the Azure Rathalos helm requires a gem. I can't quite remember, but I definitely need 3 in total, quite possibly 4. But then of course there's like all the Elder Dragons. They love their gems. Uragan weapons are really good. They require gems. And of course all the armor. There's so much armor that requires gems, but like I don't know. There's not a lot of stuff that I'm trying to farm that drops their own, or drops Wyvern gems, is what I'm basically trying to say. Well, actually, to be fair, I do need to farm a little bit more Powloom. I need to farm a little bit of everything, though, so... yeah. Like, I need to farm a little bit more Pukey, and then I can get the full Pukey armor set. We're actually getting pretty good with our armor sets. I've got everything from low rank, again. Well, actually, apart from the Ryu. What's it called? Full set. But that's simply because I just don't enjoy doing arena quests, so I'm only doing like 1 of those a day. But apart from that, I've got literally every piece of low rank armor, and then I've got about 50% of the high rank armor. And then once again, I've gotten all of the Palico stuff, save for like the Spring Blossom stuff. I only need like 2 more of those, which I'll get by doing the daily bounties for today. And then I'll have everything! Yay! But just thinking about all of the equipment can be very daunting, considering like, oh yeah, I've got all of this armor and all of this equipment, but then look at all the things that I don't have, you know? Look at all of these, well, look at this handful of charms that I don't have. Look at all of this armor that I don't have. Look at all of these weapons that I don't have. And look at all of this stuff that I do have that I haven't upgraded yet. Like, oh my god. Stop. It hurts. There's so much to do. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. But as I mentioned, I did actually manage to complete all of the optional quests, and this is the Sapphire Stars Guidance, which is a fun quest, but definitely challenging, especially for someone who doesn't fight a lot of Elder Dragons. You know, this was definitely challenging. It's super nice that you can actually change your equipment mid-hunt, because I started off using a Thunder Lance to fight Kushala Daora, and then I swapped to this Ice Lance to fight Teostra, and then I swapped back to the Thunder Lance to fight Nergigante. If I hadn't been able to do that, then I probably would have had to stick to, like, I don't even know. I don't have a good poison weapon, or I don't have a good poison lance, I don't have a good Dragon Lance, and Teostra is just running amok right now. He's just charging all over the place, and I really need to heal, so finding a good opportunity to do so is really bad, and that was not the opportunity. I fucking hate it when monsters do motions that don't look like attacks, but are still attacks. That right there, Teostra was just sort of running about, like, chasing his own tail, and apparently it's an attack. Basilgoose has a similar thing where he kind of tilts his head downwards and he just runs forward. It looks like he's trying to close the gap between you and him, but actually it's an attack. And if you think that he's just trying to close the distance, you're going to take a significant amount of damage. Volhazak has it on his tail, like sometimes he'll be facing away from you and he'll kind of swipe at your Palico or someone else, and then all of a sudden his tail will go through you and whack you onto the other side of the map, because apparently that's an attack. Like, you can't really tell that that's what he's going for, but hey, you took damage from it because it is an attack. And then of course there's like toenail damage from Volhazak when he's like doing the effluvium breath and he's walking forward that for some reason trips you. And more infamously, you have Xenojiva where he can, just by walking, doesn't matter what he's doing, as long as he's walking he can hurt you. Which is, oh, it's so aggravating. But you know, it is what it is, so we've got to deal with it. Cool little tip about Teostra's fire, his fire breath. If you get hit once by that, like when he's holding it, you won't get hit by it again. It kind of reminds me of, what's it called? The Queen of Smiles from Sultan Sanctuary. She had this move where she'd like do this like windmill attack where she'd charge forward, but it only had like one instance of damage. If you got hit by it once, then you wouldn't get hit by it again. If you blocked it once, then you wouldn't get hit by any more ticks of damage. It's the same kind of premise here. If you block just like the first second of the breath, you only take like one tick of damage and then you're completely invulnerable to the flame. It's like it does this check on you where it's like, okay, he's been hit by the flame, he can't get hurt by it again. It's such a nice gameplay conceit. And it'd be nice to see more games kind of implement it. I don't know. But we did manage to take out Teostra, obviously. We also managed to take out Kushala Daora. I wasn't too confident in fighting Kushala Daora, and I did faint, so we had 2 carts in this quest, which was why fighting Nergigante, the last monster of the quest, was terrifying for me, because, like I've said, Nergigante is like, he is the monster that I'm least confident in fighting. And I had 1 cart left to be able to fight him. So, to say I was scared is a bit of an understatement, but, you know, thankfully I had a lance, so all is good with the world, you know. Lance can block everything that Nergigante does. Even his super dive bomb, although I'm preferring to simply do the Superman because I still take quite a significant amount of damage from it because my armor isn't particularly upgraded enough, you know. Like, I've got good armor, but it's not upgraded. Because, like I said, I don't have enough fucking money. Oh, there's a second horn. I need horns. Hopefully I can get some horns from this quest. And there it is. I have to say, it was incredibly satisfying to do the Sapphire Star. It was also really nice to have like all of the NPCs have like a specialized line of dialogue to basically be like, man, you took on this quest and survived. Holy shit, you're a god. Because if you don't know, who's awesome? I'm awesome. If you don't know, completing the Sapphire Star, NPC, like every NPC in Astera, or even in the entire game, they get like the exclamation point above their head, and when you talk to them, they have like a specific line of dialogue, basically stating like, or like congratulating you on completing the Sapphire Star's guidance. Which is super cool, you know. And a lot of you might be thinking, well, how do I get the Sapphire Star's guidance? Like, what even is it? Basically, you just have to get to Hunter rank 100. Once you get it, I think it's the Commander will give you a quest to take on 3 Tempered Elder Dragons. But now that I'm in the plus 100 club, it does feel pretty badass, because it's like, not many people actually make it. According to like the PSN trophies, only like, I think it's 9% of people who played Monster Hunter World have gotten to Hunter rank 100. So, yay, I'm special. But I feel I feel good about it, you know. It feels like a medal of my dedication to this game. This game does a very good job of just rewarding players who stick with it. Like, it doesn't feel like it punishes players who don't stick with it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's punishing players for not getting to rank 100, but it feels like it's more like rewarding people who do, which is something that a lot of games get wrong. Like, a lot of games, it feels like because you're not dedicating 100% to this game, you're not going to get the full experience. You're not going to get the best out of this game. And I think this can be best. The best example can be Destiny. You know, if you don't get to the raids, then you're not doing the best content in that game. And I think everybody can agree that the raids in Destiny are the most entertaining part of the game, and if you're not trying to get that, then you're going to be doing the PvP, and if you're not doing either of those things, then what's the point into even playing Destiny, you know? So if you don't dedicate to that game, then it feels like you're missing out on a lot of content, a lot of the best content, whereas with Monster Hunter, the best content is all of the content. Like, the best content is the same content that you've been doing since, well, hour zero, you know? This is great as well. Just another random person in just another random person in the Gathering Hub. I fucking love the Gathering Hub. It's my new favorite place in any video game ever. Just all sorts of random shit. Guys. Look at the Wiggler head. Oh my god, it's just... Oh, bobblehead to the max. Fucking love it. Oh, good god. Little Pump. It's his Palico's name. So I decided to put on the Wiggler head. Not the Wiggler head, the Kuluyaku head. Oh my god, dude. This game's so good. I love how much it doesn't take itself seriously. Like, there are times where it does take itself seriously and it knows where to do that. But there are times where it's like, nah, let's just have a little bit of a joke, a little bit of a laugh here, and... Oh. But, what was I saying? Something about... Well, let's put it this way. One of the ways that I judge a game is how... Or especially the replay value, is how long does it take for me to realize that I've been doing the same thing since hour zero, because pretty much every single video game in existence, you do the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. Even if you're like 1,000 hours into the game, you're still pretty much doing the same thing as you were doing in hour zero. And Monster Hunter's a fantastic example. You know, 360 hours into this game, I'm still hunting monsters, I'm still farming gear, I've been doing that since the very beginning, but I'm still having fun. You know, it hasn't quite clicked in my subconscious that I'm still doing the same thing. Nothing's changed. It feels like it's changed, but it hasn't really. You know? I don't know. It's just one of those things that Monster Hunter does really, really well. Oh, drugs, the so tired, they're just gonna have a nap here. Hey now. I mean, normally I'd say, like, dinner and a movie first, but I'm not really sure what a Monster Hunter equivalent of that is. Like, hunt and a drink, I guess? Hunt and a toast? Oh my god, dude. This fucking game. It's perfect. Oh dear. I decided to take on Tempered Pickle again because, well, whilst the sleep bombing bow set didn't work, I thought, let's try like a survivalist Lance build where we're just trying to survive. Not so much trying to do as much damage or put Devil Joe to sleep, but we're just trying to survive. So I've got like the Volhazak set, I've got like guard. I haven't got guard up, but I've got some levels of guard, and I'm using the Thunder Lance because I had it for the what's it called? Sapphire Star's Guidance, and Devil Joe's 3 weak to Thunder, and I don't have any Dragon Lances. This lance isn't actually fully upgraded, because once again, I need a fucking Wyvern Gem. God damn it. Wyvern Gems. Why do I need so many Wyvern Gems? Ah. But as you can see, I'm just playing very cautious. I really would rather not die. I think at this point I've carted twice, so once again I'm like 1 cart away from death. So it's a little bit scary. Get paralyzed. God damn it. It's really nice that you can actually block the tremors with the lance. You can't block the pin. Like if he jumps and he decides that he wants to pin you, the lance is actually going to get you. You're going to take some damage when you use the lance, because it takes so long to actually sheath your weapon and try to run away or whatever. More than likely you're going to get pinned by it. But honestly, like in the grand scheme of attacks that Devil Joe does, it's not that bad. I mean, sure, you'll get the defense down, and he might try and like do like a one-shot move, but when you're like thrown on the ground and you're trying to get back up, you can use a flash pod, which is why I've got that equipped, is so that like when I'm in that position I can get him to, well, essentially bugger off. Like right now I'm like, okay, I'm in a really bad spot, so I use a flash pod. It doesn't hit him. Almost get killed right there. Decide to go for another flash pod because at this point I'm pretty much just bricking it all the way, and I need some health. I need to just reposition, get my confidence back, get my footing back, and now I can re-engage. That's one good thing about the flash pod. Even if the monster doesn't get flashed for a particularly long period of time, like Tempered Devil Joe just did, like he recovered very quickly from it, but it's just enough to be able to recuperate. It's enough to get your feet back and kind of get your confidence back and go, okay, I'm back in the position that I want to be in. We can actually fight Devil Joe now, you know? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Block that goddamn hip check, the hip check of death, you know? Oh god, what is he doing? There you go, block that. I've been trying to incorporate the guard dash more into my gameplay with the lance, but I feel like I've been getting worse by doing so, because I focus way too much on doing the guard dash, and not so much on the counter thrust, which is potentially more powerful. But there we go, we got him to the limping state, and I didn't want to try and kill him because I would have died, so I instead just captured him. And what did I get from the Tempered Joe rewards? Well, you know, standard Devil Joe reward fare, you know, some like a jaw, some talons, well, not a jaw, a scalp. But we got some talons, we got some hide or whatever the fuck that he drops. And as for Streamstones, wow, we got the motherload. We got a whole 1 Streamstone. Wasn't even a Warriors or a Heroes, just a regular Streamstone. Oh yeah, Tempered Devil Joe's really good for farming Warrior and Hero Streamstones. I'm sure he is, but Desire Sensor was not looking kindly on me that day, so after I did that, I decided, fuck that, I'm not doing that again. If he's gonna keep dropping shit like that, then what's the fucking point? Watch this. Flash! 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 Oh my god. And the Rathalos was permanently blinded. Had to wear those black shades, have a white stick, and a guide dog walking them around. Oh dear. Good old Rathalos. This is, what is it, the White Winds or something or other? This is another one of those last, like, end tier optional quests that give you a, I said it a minute ago, Research Commission tickets. It's such a strange name. Like, again, it's pretty much just a very high ranking commendation. But I think out of the two, like Sapphire Star's Guidance and the White Winds or whatever, I think I'm going to be doing this one because it's a little bit less tense. I can bring my lance and I can feel very, very comfortable. Using the Bacon Lance, actually, this is a lance I have not used in a very long time. Because once again, it is not fully upgraded, and that's okay, like, could be worse. But if it was fully upgraded, then it'd be significantly more powerful. But of course, I'm missing that Odogaron gem. I'm always missing gems. Gems, 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 gems. Gems, 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 gems. Oh, it's been a while since I've played Battle Block Theatre. Oh, there we go. Ugh. That was satisfying. It was satisfying just to watch, to be honest. Just beating up on Rathalos, because again, you need a lot of Rathalos. I did a lot of Rathalos farming this week. I think I did more Rathalos farming than I did Volhazak farming, honestly. And this is, well, this is, obviously. This is tempered Rathalos, though. I know, like, I know you have a better chance of getting a gem if you do Azure Rathalos and you do a regular investigation instead of a tempered investigation, as I'm about to get carted real bad. I'm on fire. I'm stunned. There's Gadgelakas around. Rathalos flies towards me. He somehow misses. I'm on like 2% health. He's trying to grab me. Vigor Wasp. Holy shit, I'm alive. Yeah, totally intentional. Let me reacquaint you with the ground with the flash pod. There you go. But yeah, I know there's like a better chance if I do Azure Rathalos and a regular investigation as opposed to tempered, but I want to fight. I need stream stones, or I need the decorations. I'm gonna be farming a lot of Rathalos anyway, so I figured, why not? Why not? And also, I just kind of wanted to have some fun with the regular Rathalos. The Xeno... Watch this. Look at that damage. Holy shit. That's not even like the most amount of damage I could get out of this weapon, actually. Like, I managed to do a zero-sum discharge on the Rathalos's head, and each one of the little ticks of damage was doing 32 a pop. My god, dude. Like, I haven't used the Switch Axe in a really long time, so I really have no idea how good those numbers are. But considering this is like the first time first time I've used the Switch Axe in a long time, that's a lot of damage. Because I remember doing the zero-sum discharge with like Diablos Switch Axe, and it'd do like 13 damage a pop, you know? Whereas with my setup with the Xeno'jiiva Switch Axe, it's doing like 32 a pop when I hit him in the head. It's like, what? Holy shit! That is insane. This isn't even the finalized build yet. Currently I've got the, what's it called? The Dragon King eye patch and the Xeno'jiiva male. I want to replace the Dragon King eye patch with the Rathalos, the Azure Rathalos Helm Beta for the critical boost, and then replace the chest piece with the Crimson Rathalos chest piece Beta, because that gives weakness exploit. But anyway, this is my new and improved guild card. As you can see, we're really putting out a lot of those investigations with the Lance and the Switch Axe. Almost got the Lance to 100. What are they? Quests complete. Nothing's really changed with my trophies. I think I am going to try and just farm up 1,000,000 Zenny and then spend it, so I don't have to worry about getting 1,000,000 Zenny ever again. It's going to be kind of hard to save up though, because there's always something I'm like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. Ooh, that would be really nice to have. And oh shit, I'm broke again. But it is what it is. So thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you with the rest of this guild card, and I'll catch you next time.